Is logic important? If it isn't, then perhaps one can accept the Noah's Ark story without a problem at all. But if logic is important, and I've heard a rumour it is, then one has to look at the story of Noah for what it is, nonsensical and incredibly impractical. Now, the story of Noah and the flood is not original, and it can be found in many cultures across the ages, dating back to nearly 5,000 years ago when Gilgamesh was said to have lived, and in some cultures even further back than that. But back to the fable of Noah, let's see why there was going to be a flood in the first place. Yahweh had decided that all of the creatures he had created were full of sin and violence, including babies, children, bacteria of all kinds, and pets and animals, and thus they deserved to be killed, absolving all responsibility of Yahweh himself. Out of the lot of them, only Noah and his family were worthy of survival. To survive, however, Noah would have to build an ark out of cypress trees and pitch, and it would have to be about 137 meters long. Such a feat would have been difficult for even the best of Homo sapiens, but in Noah's case it would have been quite impossible, especially as he was meant to be 600 years old. Once the ark was built, God commanded that Noah gather 2 of every living thing. Now presently on Earth there are around 4 million species that have been discovered. The theory is that there could be well up to 50 million species. However, some people argue that Noah only had to gather kinds of animals as opposed to individual species. But even still, that would be well over 25,000 different kinds. Times 2 for both genders, and you have at least 50,000 animals on a boat only 137 meters in length. And let's remember that Noah would have had to traverse the entire planet for millions, thousands of animals that he needed. And that meant not only did he have to survive in harsh conditions, deal with deadly animals, and find something to put the animals in, such as cages or something, unless he herded the entire lot to the ark, but also to ensure that each animal he gathered would survive the journey back. Through an eternity of work, Noah, his family, and the massive amount of animals managed to get onto the ark. Yahweh then makes it rain for 40 days and 40 nights. It's an interesting duration of time, as it has been repeated in the Bible more than once. So then it was that the earth was flooded entirely, mixing salt water with fresh water, effectively killing all marine life and wiping out the rest of existence, including all the plant life, simply because Yahweh was disappointed with his work. If it doesn't work out, try genocide to make it right. During the slaughter of life by the cruel Yahweh, Noah and his family would have had to work tirelessly without sleeping. Not only would they have had to feed the animals with a gigantic amount of food that would have taken a massive amount of space on the ark, but also to clean up the excrement that would have piled up. With only one window to vent the smell, it must have been incredibly disgusting and toxic to be in such a small, confined space. Adding to that, they would have had to ensure that no animal died, even if their lifespan was less than the duration of the flood, and to disallow any animal from procreating. After the horror of Yahweh's wrath, Noah sent a dove to check if the waters had receded, and after the 3rd time of sending out the bird, Noah waits a few months before Yahweh commands that he return to land. With the release of the animals, any herbivore would have struggled to live long due to the absence of plant life, and any carnivore would have starved since they were not allowed to eat the herbivores. And remember, for a long time the water would still be a mixture of salt and fresh water. There would be nothing good to drink. But even with these issues in hand, Noah still had one last job to do, and that was to repopulate the earth with his wife and family. Incest was never more fun. Then Yahweh puts a rainbow in the sky, vowing never to destroy the world again. It makes one wonder why he didn't just click his fingers and fix everything instantaneously. But then, God works in mysterious ways.